This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
South today, after nearly 3 months, the community testing stations in Dunedin and Invercargill closed yesterday. The second of Dunedin's 3 new urban recycling hubs was officially opened this morning in the student quarter. And art pupils at South Otago High School were assigned a unique photography project during their time in lockdown. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. A milestone in the South's fight against COVID-19 has been reached. After nearly 3 months, the community testing stations in Dunedin and Invercargill closed yesterday, joining the Queenstown Centre, which closed a month ago.
Well, South's community-based COVID-19 testing centres in Dunedin and Invercargill closed their doors yesterday. Clinical Services Manager Sharon Feist says the last 2.5 months have been an emotional journey for the staff.
I mean, I'm quite excited. I think the team are quite excited to kind of have that coming to a close. That we've done superbly in New Zealand around our COVID and in Dunedin. So I'm proud of the team, not just the team that's been in the CBAC, but all of the other team that make it possible for us to be here.
The Southern Region's assessment centres have done over 7,000 tests, almost half of the 18,000 tests done in the region. The centres are being mothballed just in case the virus re-emerges.
We're packing everything that's on display, but we're not taking the structural walls of each pod down. We'll leave all of the flooring as it is and just pack everything away. And then if we do need to pop up again and do a CBAC again, we're ready to do that very, very quickly. Feist says all future testing is to be done by GPs and is also a health line for any questions. Yes, so the main thing to do if you've got any symptoms is get in touch with Healthline. Or get in touch with the 0800 number that we've got, which is virus 19, 0800 virus 19, and give them a ring and get booked in for a test. And we've got lots of capacity in general practice that will be able to do that.
In Dunedin, the South today.
Japanese TV channel NHK will soon bring massive exposure to the Otago Peninsula and its sea lions. This follows a film crew who spent 7 weeks filming in the peninsula before the COVID-19 lockdown. The documentary, The Return of the New Zealand Sea Lions, takes a close look at the endangered marine mammals, seen here in the file footage. The film investigates the return to the peninsula of sea lions after they were wiped out as a mainland species in the 19th century. The Japanese language show is expected to be viewed by at least 1 million people. Otago Peninsula Trust Marketing Manager Sophie Barker says the documentary will give exposure to Dunedin, which money can't buy. The second of Dunedin's 3 new urban recycling hubs was officially opened this morning at the corner of St David and 4th Streets. A collaboration between the Otago Polytechnic, the Dunedin City Council and a local environmental consultancy firm, the hub aims to give students living in the area better access to recycling facilities.
Cutting the ribbon on another step in Dunedin's journey towards greater sustainability. The second of the city's 3 new recycling hubs was opened this morning with a ribbon pulling ceremony. Council Waste Minimisation Officer Lee McKenzie says the hub will make it easier for students who live in floating situations to recycle.
The idea is to increase the capacity so that when students have their yellow recycling bin, there's more people per flat, so there's not enough capacity for the number of people. This is aiming to try and address that by giving an opportunity for the students to drop the material off at any point in time.
The $80,000 hub is a collaboration between the Dunedin City Council, Otago Polytechnic and the environmental consultancy Ahika. Dr Nikki Bold says there are elements which makes this specific hub special.
This one is particularly amazing. It's a real amazing effort between Otago Polytechnic and the Dunedin City Council. So Otago Polytechnic has given the land, the students came up with some lovely concepts, and then one student in particular Alicia Beatty, who's a design student, she took some scribbles that I created, and then she turned them into these beautiful native species.
Dunedin fabricator Laurie Forbes from Zeal Steel was involved in fabrication of the hub, and Bold says it has been designed to fit in with the surrounding flora and fauna.
We've got beautiful native passion fruit planted behind it, which they're creepers, so they'll slowly grow up. So over time, at the back of this, it's going to be this gorgeous greenery with these beautiful red, orangey berries on it. So it'll really feed the birds. So the plan is, it's just a little bit of something special here in Dunedin. Oh, and you can recycle.
There are already 3 recycling hubs in the city, 2 in Moray Place, 1 in Vogel Street, and another hub is on the way. In Dunedin, the South Today.
An aged care facility in Central Otago has announced expansion plans. Golden View Lifestyle Village recently confirmed plans to build 6 new homes. Located on a section along State Highway 6 near the State Highway 8B intersection, the village is home to almost 150 residents in 94 houses. Construction of the original retirement village began in 2018. More recent work on a 60-bed aged care centre with a 12-room dementia ward and a palliative care suite has been delayed by COVID-19. Work is now hoped to be completed by mid-2021. Art pupils at South Otago High School were assigned a unique photography project during their time in lockdown. Pupils were tasked with capturing their bubble photographically and revealing 15 things that were important to them.
To help her pupils work through lockdown, South Otago High School art teacher Helen Williams found inspiration on the internet.
I was inspired a lot by a lot of online resources that were being shared over the time, and I was sort of looking for different opportunities for my students. So we did the photography unit, and then the lockdown photo challenge was something to give them a chance to capture their bubble and what they sort of enjoyed in the time in their photo. So it was also a way for me to get to know students' extra interests.
The school's Year 9 and 10 pupils were tasked with planning and setting up a photograph to feature 15 things that were important to them, and then seek help from their families to assist in shooting the picture. For Emma Bennett, it allowed her to do things she normally didn't have time for.
Just that even though you're in lockdown and you're sort of limited to how much contact you can still get inspired by doing other things that you might not usually do.
Other pupils say the lockdown was a fun time full of adventure, with the hardest part being deciding which objects to include in their photo.
Well, I tried to get as much things as I can in, because obviously I was doing a lot of things while lockdown. So yeah, I tried to get not too much but not too less, so yeah.
Ryan Williams' photograph showed his love for music, while fellow pupil Zara Milne illustrated all she had done to help others during the lockdown.
It's all about what I did, so there's photos on there of the photos I took down at the boat ramp, and then there's also shapes in that for a shape monster thing for the preschool, and there's books and all that from helping Ava and Miley with their homework.
Their teacher says the pupils achieved some very professional outcomes and were happy with the end results. In Balclutha, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, recognising increased need in their district after COVID-19, an Ashburton group organises a food bank appeal drive, and we check out another electoral candidate for the Taieri electorate, so see you after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Welcome back. Ashburton's Property Brokers Association has organised a food bank drive to help social service agencies in the district. Organisers say they decided to help out as they saw an increased need in the shadow of COVID-19.
Bags and bags of food arriving at Ashburton's food banks.
We've just received this lovely donation of food from the Property Brokers Appeal through the community. Absolutely fantastic amount of food being donated. The generosity out there is amazing, especially with the hard times that everyone's feeling at the moment through COVID-19.
The drive is organised by Property Brokers Ashburton as a way to help the community in the lead up to winter and as a result of COVID-19. Realtor Rachel Curd says the food drive is just one way they can help out.
We have reached out to our amazing local community and asked them for food donations to restock our local food banks. There's a little bit of uncertainty out there at the moment just on the back of COVID, so we were looking to make sure people didn't go without through this period.
Curd says it follows on from the company's involvement with the Toot for Tucker campaign, usually run later in the year, and says this time around it's easy to get people to help out.
So what we did was we approached a few of the local supermarkets around. New World Ashburton, Timwood Super Value and Foursquare Netherby were also keen to come on board and be collection points for our food donations as well as at the office here.
The items include a range of canned goods, pasta, dried beverages like tea and coffee and personal care products, which are being split evenly between the Salvation Army and Vincent de Paul food banks in Ashburton. Vincent de Paul shop manager Donna Collins says the items from the community are coming at a great time as demand is currently very high.
Reasonably steady through lockdown, but we are expecting it to increase quite dramatically and we're keeping an ear to the ground, listening for any families that are struggling, that are too embarrassed to come forward.
She says sometimes families get referred by other family members. The community response to the Unlock and Restock Food Bank drive is set to help many families and individuals in the district over the coming weeks. In Ashburton, the South Today.
It's under 100 days until New Zealand goes to the ballot boxes to vote in the general election. The South Today is running a regular series of interviews with those putting their names forward. Tonight we meet Scott Willis, who's standing for the Green Party in the newly formed Tairi electorate.
Waitati man Scott Willis has been an advocate for green electricity generation for many years and has recently put his hand up as the Green Party's candidate in the Tairi ward for the general election.
We've been waiting too long for decent climate action, and the Tairi and South Dunedin are a place where we have challenges, but we also have fantastic opportunity. We've got opportunity for our rail network, we've got opportunity for climate safe housing, and I really care for our community, our city and our region.
Parts of the former South Dunedin ward are facing significant environmental pressures, and Willis says the time is right for his party's policies.
Southern voices aren't being heard to the level that they need to be. We need stronger representation because look, here in South Dunedin we've got 2,700 homes that are within 50 centimetres of mean high tide. We've got groundwater that's tidal, and we've got fuel poverty, we've got energy hardship.
He says the nation and the Tairi Rohi could lead the way in terms of showing better ways to tackle climate issues.
So I bring a wealth of experience and relationships and a passion for climate action to the role. I grew up in Otago working on farms. I've been at the European Parliament as an intern. But for the past decade plus, I've worked as a manager of an NGO working on climate solutions. But I'm also a trustee at the Cosy Homes Trust. I chair the Energy Committee at the Otago Chamber of Commerce. I sit on the Innovation and Participation Advisory Group at the Electricity Authority, and I deliver things like climate safe housing, climate adaptation workshops. I value community engagement, so I'm in there, boots and all.
Willis grew up on a southern farm and has been around the district much of his life, apart from a stint working overseas. He says the boundary changes create great opportunities for the area.
This is a really exciting electorate now because we've got the pointy end of climate change for South Dunedin and climate and drought and flood risk in the Tairi Plains, and we've got the imperative to reduce emissions. So agriculture is key. We've got housing issues, we've got agriculture. These are my two big passions along with energy. So I'm really excited about the electorate and the opportunity we have because we've got some real leaders in regenerative agriculture, working with biochar, Otago Organics in the Tairi electorate. We've got an opportunity to show how we can have thriving rural communities as well as safe, healthy and thriving urban South Dunedin.
The South Today's series of interviews continues next Friday, and the country is set to go to the polls on September the 19th. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, it's taken 1.5 years and extensive restoration as Oamaru's public art gallery gets to reopen its doors this weekend. And we check out the weekend's weather for you, so stay with us.
Evening,
I'm from the Parks Department. Have you got a permit for that fire?
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance fairs. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today. Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Bowel cancer is the second highest cause of cancer death in New Zealand.
And New Zealand's got a higher rate of bowel cancer than many other Western countries.
Because it's one of those areas of the body that we don't talk about often enough.
It is one of those silent killers almost, that if it strikes and if you develop symptoms, sometimes it's too late.
So it's a major issue.
Thanks for staying with us. Oamaru's Public Art Gallery is set to reopen its doors this weekend. The Forrester Gallery was closed in December 2018 following concerns about the state of the building. Seen here in file footage, the Category 1 former Bank of New South Wales building has been home to the town's public artworks for many years. But the discovery of asbestos and mould, as well as the need for improved fire safety features, saw the gallery shut 1.5 years ago. Since then, workers have been able to remove the asbestos, install fire-compliant ceilings and doors, new emergency lighting and a new heating and ventilation system. During the closure, many of the interior spaces have also been remodelled and redecorated. Dunedin's Rugby Stadium will be back in action this weekend for the first time since lockdown. The Highlanders are set to play the Chiefs before a huge crowd, and the venue is making sure everyone will be kept safe from COVID-19 risk.
Workers have been busy this week setting up Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium for Saturday night's rugby game. The stands will be about 2/3 full, with a crowd of close on 20,000 spectators. And venue manager Terry Davies told the press that people's health is a major consideration for organisers.
There's a safety issue, so people are still going to be cautious. And so what you'll find on the weekends is that every seat in the stadium will have the Ministry of Health QR code behind it. So we'll be telling the story this week about tracking, tracing. We're leaving up to those individuals to manage their own diaries.
Spectators are encouraged to use the QR code in front of their seat to register their attendance on the country's COVID app. And Davies says sanitising agents will be in use before, during and after the match.
On the night, of course, you're going to see hygiene messages everywhere on replay screen, across PA, across all of our websites during the week, and on the night, of course, the cleaning process here is threefold versus pre-COVID, and you'll see, you know, there'll be sanitisers around the place and messages everywhere. So we've got to be very cautious and conscious that the public is still worried about health.
The rugby match is set to kick off at 7:05 p.m. on Saturday. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. After nearly 3 months, community testing stations in Dunedin and Invercargill closed yesterday, a milestone in the South's fight against COVID-19. The second of Dunedin's 3 new urban recycling hubs was officially opened this morning in the student quarter, making another collaborative project. And art pupils at South Otago High School were assigned a unique photography project during their time in lockdown, taking a snapshot of their favourite things. And now for a look at tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry. What have you got for us?
Hello, Melissa. We've got a lot of good reading in the ODT tomorrow, so including the Mix magazine, so look forward to that. Federated Farmers is assessing its options after raising questions about the Otago Regional Council's democratic process, so full story on that, interesting story tomorrow. Details of plans to change the traffic flow through central Dunedin to accommodate the new Dunedin Hospital will be released on Monday. We reveal the details we know tomorrow, so again, an interesting talking point for the community.
Sure it will be.
Celebrity chef and cookbook author Nadia Lim has traded city life for the central Otago countryside, so she talks to Sally Ray about her new life and latest project, so a good read there. And in the weekend mix, we have feature writer Bruce Monroe does a special report on looking at what the Otago researchers are doing to tackle the global pandemic. So interesting piece there. We also you should also go online to odt.co.nz for a look at a really interesting infographic plus a video, and there'll be an extended sort of mini documentary on the topic featuring on Channel 39.
Fantastic. So we can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the city view, Otago Polytechnic on a chilly morning. Looking at the situation, stay off the roads if you can in the south this weekend, as heavy frosts are due over the next few nights and temperatures will be near zero for some sheltered places. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at clear skies and highs of 13 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect some cloud and 12 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, it will be cold and clear for most places here. Kaikoura reaches 10, while Christchurch and Ashburton should reach 11. To the southern towns, plan for light winds and a cold fine day. Those in the Catlins are set for 6 degrees, while Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are both aiming for a high of 4 degrees. Heading to Central Otago, there's light winds, clear skies and very cold temperatures. Wanaka's high is 2, Alexandra reaches 4 and Queenstown reaches just 1, and Tiana has an 8-degree high. To the northern towns on the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect light winds, cold clear skies and looking at a high of 10 degrees. Twizel and Amarama also plan for light winds and fine weather with 5 degrees in Twizel and a mighty 2 in Amarama. In Dunedin, cold and frosty tonight with an overnight low of -4. Mostly fine and sunny this weekend with heavy frost at night and cool daytime temperatures. Saturday reaches 9 and the low is -4. On Sunday, dress for a high of 10 and another mighty low of -4. And in Invercargill, frosty tonight with an overnight low of 5. Mostly fine and sunny this weekend with heavy frosts. Looking at a high of 8 on Saturday and a low of -4. Then on Sunday, Invercargill should reach a high of 9 and a low of -4. Thanks for watching us. Have a great weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.